Damn, so this was pretty crazy. So Nina Turner, she is a co-chair, I believe, of the Bernie Sanders campaign. She is very, motivational. She inspires people. She's a great organizer, etc., etc. And the other guy on the left, DC here, this Baldy here, this guy is Dr. Jason Johnson. Really repetitive names now. We're starting to get to Bill Bob now, apparently, are the names that we're having now. But this guy's a doctor of political science. He's also on video saying that by August, Bernie Sanders is going to be out of the election. So here we are in February, and he's still here, and he's leading. He's the front runner. So in the early states, at the very least, in national polls, he's moving up too. So that's already there. Now, this is going to be a really, whatever school gave him a PhD, they may want to rescind it because it seems he doesn't even understand basic political words. All right, so let's check this out. They get into a pretty big debate here.
That I welcome the hatred of the elites because I am standing up for you. So cry me a river for the wealthy people in this country.
You work for a candidate who's part of the 1%. I have no problem with criticizing the system. The system that allows Mike Bloomberg to make all the money that he makes, the system that allows him to buy what he wants to buy, the system that allows him to buy himself into the administration and buy himself into the debates is a problem. But to call him an oligarch, I think, is a misnomer in this environment. And again, you're working for somebody who's part of the 1%. Do you call him an oligarch? No, you don't. You say he's a rich guy. Because just because somebody has a tremendous amount of money doesn't mean that they're not necessarily representing the people. And if you want to use the term elite, you can use whatever kind of term that you want to use. But at the end of the day, the enemy of this country, the enemy of the poor, is not just everybody who happens to be rich. It is a capitalistic system that abuses people. And if you want to speak about that, that's fine. But if you want to name call people, that's not going to help Bernie if he becomes a nominee. And he's going to need Mike Bloomberg's money. If he's going to need Mike Bloomberg's money down the road.
It's
this is all
ironic
I'm
that you're
talking about.
defending somebody
I'm
that
not
is buying
defending
his
rich
way
people.
through
I'm
the
not defending
democracy.
rich
Yes, you
people. I
are.
know
You
this
are
works on
defending
Twitter
him.
because that's how you guys operate.
you
But when
are
it comes to
defending him.
actual
This is not
campaign
about
politics, it makes sense to actually describe people for the positions that they
ironic.
have.
Is this about a word? Is this about a word, Jason? Is this about a word?
No, it's not just about a word. It's about the implications of it.
So yeah, so even Chris Matthews is like, is this about a word, you doofus? Like, whoever gave him a PhD, they probably want to pull that back because he doesn't even understand basic political terms, and he has a PhD in political science. How embarrassing is you don't know what an oligarch is, dude? It literally is it's a very rich business leader with a great deal of political influence. So he's offended at the labeling of Michael Bloomberg, literally a very rich business leader with a great deal of political influence. If there's ever been a term that perfectly describes Michael Bloomberg, or somebody who perfectly embodies a term, that this one being oligarch, it's literally Michael Bloomberg. You think oligarch, Michael Bloomberg, because he's a very rich business dealer with a great deal of political influence. Is Bernie Sanders a very rich business dealer with a great deal of political influence? No. His political influence is derived from his, work and nothing to do with being a business dealer or anything like that. And so that's the difference. That's why he's not an oligarch. And last time I check, I think let's check out what Bloomberg's net worth actually is. So Bloomberg's net worth here, as you can see, is $60.2 billion. Bernie Sanders' net worth is at about $2 million. So we're comparing somebody with a net worth of $2 million to somebody with $60.2 billion. Let me illustrate that to you. There's 1,000 millions in a billion. He has 60 billions. So 61,000 millions. I know that's getting kind of crazy, but think about that. $1 billion is 1,000 millions. He's got 60 of those. So he's got 61,000 millions. And then you're talking about a guy with less than 2. So 61,000 millions versus less than 2 millions. We're comparing these people. So in terms of terminology, not accurate. Michael Bloomberg is both a plutocrat and an oligarch. Okay, plutocrat means, the power is derived from wealth. We live in a plutocracy / oligarchy. Not much of a difference. Pretty much the same thing. But this is ridiculous. All right, they're not comparable in wealth, even close. And it's very realistic to be able to hit a 2 million net worth. It's very realistic at his age. If you just get a job and then you purchase a house, you put in your life's work into it, you're going to be up there. You're going to get up there, even if you have like $100K a year that you make, and then you invest your money into your house, what you live in, especially if it's a higher end house. It's not that far-fetched to hit that number. All right, 60.2 billion on the other hand, it's not the case. So the guy with the PhD in political science doesn't know what the term oligarch means, is comparing Bernie and Michael Bloomberg as both being part of the 1%. And by the way, that's a testament. That right there is a testament as to just how deep our wealth inequality has reached. Okay, that's how polarized our wealth inequality is. Where now we should be talking about the 0.1%, not the 1%, because someone like Bernie Sanders, whose net worth is like 2 million, that's not the people who are ruining our system. The people who are ruining our system are Michael Bloomberg's, Jeff Bezos, all of these guys. These are Bill Gates, all of those people. And so study after study, and this is based on a meta-analysis, which means taking all the studies and looking at them, it shows that wealth inequality is a horrible thing. And so when he says, you know, the system is not a problem. No, the system's a problem. It is a problem because, those people are a problem. Like, they are doing damage to society. And so basically what the meta-analysis shows is that when wealth inequality gets too far, what ends up happening is the poorest at the bottom are deprived of education, which is the biggest, you know, factor in sort of making more money and being stable. And so those people at the bottom, they go to richer neighborhoods, they go to the rich neighborhoods, and then they commit property crimes. And so this is definitive, meta-analysis based, all of that. So these people are a problem. Billionaires' existence is an issue, all right? At least to the degree they are now. Maybe it wouldn't be a big deal if they were at 1 billion or 2 billion, but someone like Jeff Bezos, who's worth like, what, 130, 120, and then this guy's worth 60, like, you have no idea the difference between a billion and a million. It's not even close. And then this is a guy who's worth 60 billion. So it's absolutely asinine. And this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He has a PhD in political science. He's a doctor of political science. So, it's just absolutely insane to me to see that. And then I did get some sexist vibes from this guy. He didn't really seem to respect Nina Turner very much. He's speaking over her, very condescending douchebag. So I did get some of those vibes as well from this guy, but he just comes off as a massive prick. And then, no, we don't want Michael Bloomberg's money. I don't want Michael Bloomberg's money. I want my political movement funded by the people. I don't want it bankrolled by some billionaire. No, I don't want that. Get that shit out of here. I don't want that. We want clean, legit elections. I don't want some billionaire, some lefty billionaire, which he's not even a left-winger, by the way. He's a Republican. But that tells you who that guy is. Dr. Jason Johnson is not only the shittiest doctor of all time, but his takes are also dumb.